Hey there, here's another look at why we should be paying very close attention to the shoulder and hips line of action when doing sketches for figure drawing. In the first figure here, notice how the directionality of the shoulders and hips are going in opposite directions. And this kind of pulling in opposite directions creates a lot of dynamic energy in the figure and creates suspense and tension. While the main line of action created through the spine is still a classic S curve, which is used a lot in figure drawing, especially for females, it is counterbalanced by the use of supporting straight line and triangular shape elements, both of which often communicate power and action. The original art I'm using for reference here is by Korean artist Kim Hyun-tae. So let's quick fire a couple of figures just to see what else he does with shoulders and hips. In this figure here, the girl has more uniform body language. So you see he's raising the hips, but not contrasting the shoulders as much. Still using a lot of triangle elements, but also focusing on following through with that long figure S in the main line of action. Now, the similarity in direction of the shoulders and hips in this girl on the bottom creates a much more graceful pose. But there is still dynamic action involved, and you can still see the use of a lot of triangular elements, even though they're a bit softer with the curved lines. Now, this last figure has an amazing contrast between her shoulders and hips in that they're actually being turned in 3 dimensions. So when we're drawing, we don't want to just be thinking of the X and Y axes in terms of lines of action. The Z axis is really being used here to keep the shoulders and hips in line, but still contrasting the directionality and rotating it in the 3rd dimension. So if you're practicing figure drawing and wondering why some figures kind of just look stale while others look alive and dynamic, even though they might be striking the same pose, definitely consider investigating the relationship between the lines of action between the spines, shoulders, and hips.